Hello, beautiful Cancers, and welcome to your new moon surprise reading. All right, so at the end of this video, I am going to link a new moon pick-a-pile reading that I did earlier this week. There was a new moon in Aquarius on February the 11th. And so I did quite in-depth pick-a-piles, so I will link that at the end of this video. But this is a reading for the new moon, for a new moon surprise. You know, new moons often bring in new beginnings, and I thought, what better way to talk about a new moon than a new moon surprise? So that's what we're looking into. So this is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, wherever else you find it in your chart. If you are just joining my channel, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. If you are returning, thanks so much for coming back. I love doing readings like this, so I appreciate you being here. All right, so let's get into this. All right, so this is for the Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. New moon surprise for the new moon in Aquarius. What do we have for Cancers today, Spirit? Okay, we have the Nine of Swords, we have the Six of Swords, and we have the Knight of Cups. What is challenging this surprise is the Eight of Pentacles, the transformation, and the Chariot. Wow. What is supporting this surprise? We have the Three of Swords, we have the Eight of Wands, and we have the Justice. And what is changing within this cycle? The Tower, the Five of Swords, the Two of Wands. Current energy for Cancer is Strength, the Queen of Earth, and the Nine of Cups. Oh my goodness, guys. What is going on here, Cancers? Okay, so current energy, I definitely feel like you are finding your strength. You're really putting your voice to your actions, listening to that intuition, finding the wholeness within inside of self, finding the fulfillment within inside of self. But the strength doesn't come from just being noisy, big, brawn strength. That strength is really inner strength, inner knowing, being able to handle life with calmness, patience, understanding, right? It's again, you know, with this Queen of Pentacles energy behind it, very nurturing, very protective, very mothering, you know, it's very, this to me is a current energy of kind of almost being like at in your peace. I just find that you're really working on being grounded in your own wholesome energy right now. Now, this new moon surprise. So it starts off with the Nine of Swords. And I love this deck because this deck, Colette Baron Reid had written this deck, and it's called the Good Tarot. And it was only meant to be taken as uprights because here she wanted even, you know, the challenging cards within the deck. She wanted them to be these supportive, freeing kind of cards. And that is what this Nine of Air is. You know, the Nine of Air is often the card of like mental fuckery, okay? It's like being stuck in your headspace, anxious, worried, stressed out. And in this energy, especially with this deck, this is freeing yourself from here. You can see how this angel, like all these doves are just flying around her and she's freeing herself. And this new moon surprises, I feel that you could have been in or are working through some of that mental kind of fuckery stage, because the Six of Swords was after that. And as you can see here with this boat, the Six of Swords is about movement, it's about transformation, and there's some sort of opportunity here. Maybe you know, with knights are new beginnings, and that's this Messenger of Cups, some sort of new beginning in emotional happiness, whether it's love, romantic love, or just opportunities of love, something that really brings you a lot of emotional fulfillment. Really exciting. So let's get some clarifiers for this. So we have the Star, the Hierophant, and the Lovers for that Nine of Air. The Six of Air gets the Four of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Messenger. Okay, wow. All right. So I really feel for this new moon surprise. For some of you, you've been saying your prayers, you know, you've been working on being this bigger, higher person. And for some of you, I mean, this could definitely be a romantic connection. Again, it's interesting how much romance is coming out in all these new moon readings, but it doesn't surprise me really, because we have Mercury in retrograde, and Mercury in retrograde oftentimes brings those conflicting relationships, or relationships that have some unfinished business, something that needs to be worked out in communication. Those come back up to the surface. We also have Venus and Jupiter right now. They kind of did this conjunction thing, and they don't always necessarily get along, but they definitely bring out the energy of relationships. They bring that to surface level. So to me, I really feel like this is, you know, that Nine of Swords is you working through some of the heartbreak, some of the limitations, some of the mental fuckery that has really been put on you. I feel like you're really embracing this higher self, you know, this version of being the bigger, better person. and not by ego-led, but by soul-led choice. Now, this transformation process, you're having to do this inward reflection because you're wanting to build these foundations. You're wanting, the energy of the Three of Pentacles here is teamwork. And I feel like that's what you're really working on. You're wanting to put in, you're doing the reflection because the transformation that you're going to is going to be some sort of relationships. Again, apply that where it fits, that are supporting. Okay, it's not a fast-moving process here. This is about planting your pentacles, being determined, being committed to the change and the growth and what you are building here. And it does start with that inner reflection. Now, this Knight of Cups, again, this can be where new love opportunities are coming in. Maybe somebody's reaching out to you, or maybe it's where you're going to reach even out to somebody. Because look, we have the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Wands and the Hanged Man. You have to free yourself here. This Eight of Swords energy is where you've been stuck. You've been stuck, whether it's been in your mind or, because you can see she's just a reflection here. But there's some sort of burden, some sort of limitations that have really been trapping you, limiting you, keeping you feeling small. And one of the things my most favorite sentence, or my most favorite sayings, is the mountains and the oceans do not apologize for the space that they take up, and neither should you. And I feel like that is what's shifting. That is what's changing within inside you, especially with this Hanged Man energy behind there, because that's about, opening yourself up to new opportunities, opening yourself up to new beginnings, allowing spirit to just kind of, it's where you release the existence to just be. You allow yourself to be in the present moment and to just be at peace in the present moment and say, okay, what is for me will come for me. I have faith in that, but it is freeing yourself here, especially with that Eight of Swords and that Ten of Wands. You have to release yourself here, because the Ten of Wands is about cutting out the burdens. It's releasing yourself from burdens. Now, what is challenging you here with this new moon surprise? Eight of Pentacles. Well, that's where work needs to be done. And look, the transformation after that, and then the Chariot movement, which is also your own card here, Cancer. And to me, I just feel like, there has to be transformation within inside of self. I feel like you've put a lot of work into self, absolutely. But with this transformation energy, I mean, yeah, look at that. Okay, so the Eight of Pentacles gets the Judgment and the Seven of Swords, because there is some sort of releasement. There's some sort of surrendering here that must happen, in order to find the peace. And I feel with the Seven of Swords, that can be the energy of fear, because the Seven of Swords is where we just can't see the outcome. Some things are still hidden in the dark. And in order to really surrender yourself over, you're surrendering over those fears. And in order to surrender over fears, the easiest thing to do is to have faith. If you're going to surrender fears, well, then you must have faith in order to surrender fears. And that's not an easy thing, with the King of Swords here. It's not always an easy thing, but it is certainly the thing that is going to bring you, like, it's what has to happen. That's the action steps that must be taken. It is to have that faith. All right, let's see this transformation energy. Okie dokie, we're not taking all those. Okay, we have the Page of Swords and this Nine of Pentacles, absolutely. Because in order for you to go forward here, there has to be this self-accountability. There has to be this fulfillment within your own energy. There has to be, I feel like that's the transformation that's happening with inside of self, is where you are really learning how to fill your own energy space. You are really learning to be accountable for what you allow into your energy space, what you allow into your life, because we must be accountable for who and what, and the energies not only that we are giving out, but the energies that we are surrounding ourselves in, right? This Chariot gets the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands, wow, and the Five of Pentacles. You see, and this is where there's movement, and it's challenging to have movement. It's challenging to take control of your reins and steer your chariot in the direction in which you want to go. Absolutely, especially when you have these two knights, because they can be ones like this can be quite the combination. A lot of air and a lot of fire. You have a big fire, right? But to me, I feel like this challenging energy is where you are getting crystal clear on moving yourself away from this energy of the Five of Pentacles. You're embracing your light, you're taking control of the reins here, and you gotta free yourself, because you can see in this Five of Pentacles energy, the key is being illuminated. She just has to pick up her head and see it, and I feel like there is that transformation within side of self here, Cancer, where you've come from something in the past. You've done a lot of work on self. You've done a lot of growth within self, But now it's time to actually move yourself into the next phase. What's supporting you? Well, we have the Three of Swords, which is heartbreak. You know, that's about brokenheartedness. And you know, and I feel like, especially with the Eight of Wands here and then the Justice, I feel like there is change here from that heartbreak. There's forward movement, there's healing, justice, balance from that heartbreak. Four of Wands, the World, yep, and the Two of Cups, absolutely. Because now from that heartbreak, look at that. We have the Four of Wands, which is happiness. You know, it can be, and it's kind of beautiful because to me, this is always like, it's like the energy, it can be the energy of engagements, weddings, celebrations, right? But it is like where, like it's happiness, especially with the 1111 back there. Like to me, I always find it to be such a like, I don't know, celebratory card. And it's such a celebrating energy here because you've completed the cycles of the past. And now you're opening yourself up to new relationships, new open, you know, new love. And again, doesn't necessarily just need to be romantic, but you are opening yourself up to these new beginnings and these new opportunities. Eight of Wands gets the Magician, the Three of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. And the Justice gets the Ten of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. You know, I really feel a lot of times when this Eight of Wands is coming out right now, this is where you are, where there's positive change happening from the universe. And I feel a lot of that right now has to do with all the energy that's happening in Aquarius. I do. I feel like this is like astrologically, like there's just so much, because the Eight of Wands keeps coming out in all these readings, and I'm just like, oh, that's where the universe sparked all the change here. But look, it sparked the change for you really to embrace the power within inside of self, acknowledging that the answers and all of the things that you need to go forward here, creating relationships, creating connections, and embracing this energy of self, embracing this manifesting energy of self here. It's all within you. You know, and I feel like this is the spark that's happening right now. What is supporting you is where, you know, you feel that passion, you feel that spark within inside of self, and you know, things just kind of start to connect, you know, as you embrace that power within inside of self, as you embrace those answers that are within inside of self. Justice here, balance, Ten of Pentacles, King of Cups, and Page of Pentacles, because there is new beginning. There is, and this is not only where there's fulfillment and happiness, but it's where, again, the action of your life is connecting here to your emotions. You're beginning new pentacles, new stages, new tangible stages, you know, new tangible cycles within your life. This Page of Pentacles is a brand new opportunity, a brand new physical cycle that's taking place. And I feel like it's a balance cycle. It's going forward here. What's supporting you here is the balance of self, because you've done this work of self. You've really connected. Here you are in that divine masculine energy of self, really connected to your emotions. You know, your divine masculine energy is very much this King of Cups, Cancer. Like you very deep, okay, very emotionally connected. You know, and in order to find that happiness, in order to find these beginnings of a balanced future for you, it has to be something that is connected emotionally for you. Absolutely, 100%. Now, what is changing within this new moon cycle? Well, we have the Tower here, and then we have the Five of Swords, and then we have the Two of Wands. And the Tower is, I mean, that is destruction. Yes, that is things coming down. Yes, it can be limitations. It can be patterns of the past. It can be thought patterns. It can be relationships. It can be friendships. It can be a whole shit ton of things. But that Tower is some sort of structure in your past that isn't going to serve you going forward. Okay, it's a tower that it's broken, it's shattered. The universe, you know, put a little bit of, they leaned on it, the universe leaned on it, or life leaned on it a little bit, and the whole damn thing crumbled. Okay, so it wasn't going to serve you going forward here. And this is, to me, what's changing within this new moon cycle is where you're releasing yourself from that kind of low vibration, right? There's no need to have that. This is like, okay, well, I'm getting rid of the tower. Like, that structure is not going to serve me. And Tower gets the Tower, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups. Because there is, you know, what is shifting within this new moon cycle, absolutely, is where the structures just have to come down. The Tower clarified by the Tower, you got to let that come down because there's new beginnings after it. There's a whole bunch of different new cups and opportunities that are presenting themselves to you. But in order for you to maybe even acknowledge which cup is going to serve you best, or to acknowledge, okay, which is the beginning that I'm going to want to manifest, what is the beginning here that I'm going to want to start, you can't be wasting your time trying to keep structures up that aren't going to support you going forward here, right? You're releasing yourself, Cancer. You've done so much work to find this inner strength, to find your inner truth, to find your inner balance. Now it's about, okay, this is what needs to come down. If this is where I want to go, right? Okay, so this Five of Swords, yes, absolutely gets the Ace of Swords. Now, the Five of Swords is about confliction, okay? It is about communication. It can be even where there is just like a tense energy, maybe even between communication. It can be where people have, you know, been really nasty to you in the past. Maybe, you know, you have a lot of baggage of like, okay, well, this person said this and this person said this, and yeah, so the Ace of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords is what clarified this Five of Swords. And I feel what's changing here is there's healing, there's freedom, there's truth that comes in here through this, that releases you from this heartache of the past. I feel like there's this balancing flexibility energy that comes in with this Ace of Swords. And this is clarity and truth from the divine. It's kind of like that aha moment, you know, or that gift, that download from spirit, where just the answers seem like they come from like almost nowhere, but they resonate, they make sense to you, you know. And I feel that flexibility is a big one for you. I feel like there needs to be this energy of, or even just this acknowledgement of, okay, that doesn't, like, there isn't only one way here. You know, it's the energy of being flexible. It's the energy of, okay, there's not only one side to every story. You know, if this tense communication is because somebody has just continually said something again and again and again and again to you, that doesn't mean that that's the truth. Okay, there's two sides to every story here. And I feel like you have, you know, a lot of this is coming from this heartache of the past, Cancer. I do feel like you guys are really working on finding that wholeness and finding that healing within inside of self, okay? And the Two of Wands, you're going forward in a new direction here, choosing the path before you that is going to just take you to the higher road. I don't feel like you're wanting to repeat these cycles of the past. No, you're liberating yourself. Justice, the King of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups, absolutely. You're liberating yourself and taking the steps to walk in a new direction. You know, here you are connecting to that divine feminine energy of self. And I feel like you're just balancing that out. Okay, you're listening to your intuition, you're listening to your inner voice, you're listening to your inner guidance. This King of Pentacles energy, this is where you're making the tangible steps in your life to align you to the life that you want to go. The King of Pentacles is somebody, like, he is somebody who makes sure that he walks in the direction in which he wants to go. You know, you want change here? Well then, my friend, you're gonna have to, you know, liberate yourself here. Draw that line in the ground and be like, okay, well, I want change, so this is the direction that I'm gonna have to walk. These are the steps that I'm gonna have to take. And it is about connecting and listening to that inner guidance, making sure that not only are those steps going in the direction that you want, but that they're serving you on a very deeper level, right? Like, it has to, Cancers, you are so emotionally based. So if things are not connected, if your action steps are not connected to your emotions, if there isn't that balance, like that Two of Pentacles, if there isn't that balance between your emotions and the action side of life, you're going to find the heartache. You're going to be conflicted. You're going to find this tension, right? I feel like that's what's shifting here. Definitely within this month for you is where you're acknowledging that, wait a minute, my action steps have to reflect that of my emotions, because they're one of the same, right? All right, so Cancer, let's get an Untethered Soul Oracle card here for you guys. Come to know the one who watches the voice, and you will come to know one of the greatest mysteries of creation. Such a beautiful card. Come to know the one who watches the voice, and you will come to know one of the greatest mysteries. One of the greatest mysteries of creation. Well, Cancers, what a beautiful new moon surprise reading. If you did enjoy this reading, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, as my channel is just growing, so I do appreciate all of the help and all of the support. If you are not yet a subscriber, click that bell button. I would love for you to be a part of our family. Also, if you did find resonation with this video or any of my other videos throughout the month, please be sure to drop yellow hearts or a sunflower in the comments. Lets me know that you resonated. And also, at the end of every month, I will be doing a draw for a free personal read. So every comment that has a yellow heart or a sunflower in it, that is a ballot to get your name into that draw. So be sure to comment on all the videos that you watch. Every time you comment, that's another ballot for the draw. All right, guys, until next time, take great care of your beautiful soul. Bye now.